Welcome to Livingstone Ranch. We get asked all the time why we keep yaks. So today I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons of keeping yaks, and yeah, you can decide if it's a good reason for you. For us, I'll be honest, it was somewhat of a nostalgic and maybe emotional decision to get yaks. When our children were younger, we were able to spend a little bit of time on the Tibetan Plateau, and we saw nomadic herds of yaks, and we were able to see how the Tibetans used every part of that animal in their daily life, and we were able to meet with some companies that used yak fiber to create products, and so all of that really made us fall in love with the animal, and that's kind of why we decided to get them. It's probably not the best reason to pursue keeping an animal, or at least just that being the only reason. But that's kind of where we were at. And fortunately for us, so far it's worked out okay. Yaks do have a lot of benefits. They will eat a third to 50% less than your average beef cattle. And so your cost of feed is going to be less, or the amount of land that you need per animal would be less. And so that's a huge plus to consider when thinking about raising yaks. Another thing would be their fiber. Yak fiber is among the best in the animal kingdom. It's not the number one, but it's way high up there. And so we'll have a whole video on yak fiber. We'll compare it to other fibers, talk about its softness, its thickness, and the benefits of yak fiber. But we'll do that in a new video that we'll have out hopefully, a couple weeks to a month when we'll start harvesting their fiber. But that being said, you can harvest the yak fiber and you can sell it. And so that's just another source of revenue for you if you're keeping yaks. It would be their fiber. Another thing with yaks is they have just fantastic meat. They're a great meat animal. Their meat is lean and very tasty. And so I would definitely recommend giving yak meat a try, but it also sells for a really good price. And so if you're raising an animal to sell the meat, a yak would be one animal that I'd recommend looking at and seeing if that works for you. Another benefit to yaks is they do really well in high elevations and cold weather. So if you are in a place where it's really cold, a yak will probably be just fine. And as far as elevation goes, yaks have oversized lungs, which helps them to breathe at really high elevation. So for us here in Colorado, that's a benefit to keeping yaks. Yaks are a lot of fun. They're fast, they're agile, they run, they jump, and they play. They're a lot of fun to watch. And I would say, as for us, each of our yaks kind of have their own sort of personalities, and so it's kind of fun to get to know them. They're all different. Some of them don't like us at all, and some of them love us. And then you have Boaz, who you really don't know what you're going to get out of him, but he's always fun to watch and always fun to be around. So I know you can't really tell that right now when everybody's just kind of lazy, but yeah, the yaks are a lot of fun to watch and keep. Yaks live a decent amount of time. I believe like mid 20s to 30 years, and it's my understanding that they birth pretty well and birth a lot of those years. And so if you want an animal that's gonna produce a lot of calves, yak might be a choice for you. And they really are just all around a great animal to keep. I would say there are definitely some cons to yaks. One is heat. They really do not like the heat, and you can tell with all their hair. They got 3 layers of hair. They got their long guard hairs, and then a medium length fiber, and then they got their ultra soft down fiber. And so the heat is something that we have to monitor, and we run misters and fans and things like that in the summertime. But yaks do not like heat very much. Another big con with yaks is equipment. A lot of equipment you can see here is our antique squeeze chute. But equipment's not really made for yaks, and so that is somewhat of a struggle. Finding equipment that's going to work, or modifying the equipment to make it work for your yaks. The horns put forth a struggle, I think, for us. We might try to do maybe a longhorn squeeze chute and see if that would work a little bit better. but you really do need that equipment, you know, when you're going to harvest their fiber or trim their hooves, or if you're going to give them vaccinations or something. You need something where they're going to be, for the most part, immobilized, and equipment can be difficult with yaks, so that's something to think about. I would also say fencing. I've talked to other people who don't have this issue, but my yaks, I don't know. My fencing on most of the property is not really great, and my yaks would blow right through that. So the fencing that we have for the yaks is pretty stout. We use hog wire, and yeah, so far that's been working out all right. But I would say I would definitely recommend a better grade of fence than you would just, you know, 4 or 5 strands of barbed wire isn't going to stop the yaks. They're going to lift it up with their horns, and actually Bo's been out before and just ran right through, broke a post, and took some wire with him. So that is something to consider, is fencing with yaks. Yeah, all in all, I would say those would be the biggest downsides, I think, to keeping yak. I guess too, if you're not interested in harvesting fiber, then it is another job that you would have, because you do kind of need to harvest that fiber. It's going to get all matted in the rest of their fur, and Yodi's walking in here slowly, not knowing what to think because I'm standing here. You can see her. You're okay, Yodi. That fiber is going to get matted in their fur and become a problem if you don't harvest it, and so. It is an added job. If that's something that you're not interested in, then yak probably isn't the best option for you. But ultimately, I'd say we love keeping yaks. We really do enjoy it. We do harvest their fiber. My wife thinks she's going to try to milk them, and so we'll see how that goes. And you know, the Tibetans do use their milk for everything. They have yak milk tea and cheese and yogurt, and so it is something that is done. It's just not something I'm super interested in doing myself. Hey, Yodi, can I give you a pet? You okay? No? Okay. She's right here. Can I give you a pet, Yodi? Can I give you a pet? Hmm? Yodi's a good girl. She's probably, like I said, my sweetest yak. Bo really likes to be pet, but at the same time. Hey, girl. Good girl, Yodi. So those are the pros and cons of yaks. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos on yaks, you know, subscribe to Livingstone Ranch and give this a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.